Oh, this is gewaldig. Hold on, let me take a picture. Good morning, Rabbi Side. Live from the Serengeti. Neflois habayra. Hayishoyer shomreno nai. Biviyai v'koyana. Oh, Yasana Galashem. Shabbos hayoy mashem. We're here early morning in the Serengeti, but we can't start off today without a little Torah and this beautiful, beautiful scenery. So we're going to learn a little bit, just for a few minutes, and then we'll take it from there. I was a little hungry, but thank you. Here we go. Okay, let's see what happens. We're hoping a few birds from the Serengeti, will come and land here. If not, it'll be a little dirty during the shir. So, we're just going to do a little bit, 4 or 5 minutes worth, and then we'll continue later on tonight. But like this, we have a day that started with Torah, and we'll continue with Torah. First of all, I want to say a big shout out to Josh Strook and his son Uri of Dallas. Because of you, I'm able to give shir, because they take care of my partner Benzi Friedman and his son. So the kids are a great shkoyach to Josh, who does the shir with us every single day. And we have a geshmaki good morning Rabbi side from the staff here in the hotel just a few minutes ago. Here we go.
Everybody, but loud. Good morning.
Buzz's birthday, and of course I gotta. You have some. You have volume here. They do. Here we go. You know what I'm gonna say here.
Yeah.
Rabbi Sai, Melech HaChayos. Okay, here's another one. Boy Sai. Some elephants. Baby elephants. Oh, look at the mother, the brother and the sister. Ah, Mardik. What else do we have here today? I'll show you some other stuff later. Let me just do the sponsors. The good news is that we are halfway down the Amud. We did the first 10 minutes of the shir with the Serengeti scenery at like 9:30 this morning or whatever. And we're going to patch it in. So all of you, besides our 2 guests, we have 2 chashuv guests. What's your guys' names?
Yossi Feiner from Hallandale Beach, Florida.
What's that name? What? Beach,
Hallandale
Florida?
Beach, Florida.
Oh, Hallandale Beach, Florida. Shalom Aleichem, Yossi. And what, your name?
Yossi Roth.
From?
Los Angeles, California.
Shalom Aleichem, Yossi Roth. You're also, we met these gewaldige guests. There's 10 other firm people in this hotel, also on a trip. Themselves sponsored anonymous Hatzlacha bruchnius v'gashmias. Monthly sponsors: Nissim, Moshe, Yosef, Parnasa, Birevach for Nissim ben Shoshana, Leah, Moshe Aron Miriam Landy for that Hatzlacha of all our children. ActualEyes in honor of David Merkin of Eastern Union, all the Silver Spring daffersEli, Dyckman for the Refuah Shleima of tינוק ben Rivka and Rivka Bas גילה. Weekly sponsors: Dov Eisenberger in honor of the members of Chaverim in Bergen County. Teamwork makes the dream work. Today, Rabbi Sai, first time ever, Chaverim in the Serengeti. One of the jeeps. broke down, had a flat tire, jumps out Mole Landy and changes the tire in front of two cheetahs. About 100 feet away from two cheetahs, he gets out. Chaverim, they put we have video. I should put the video on. I'm not.
Chaverim comes wherever.
You can't make this stuff up. We were watching two cheetahs, and he gets out of the jeep and changes the tires. And they had 4 African guys watching him and directing traffic. Well, the Maisa Chaverim doing their job here in the Serengeti. Weekly sponsor Anonymous. Lili Nishmas, Mital Naomi, Bat Ruben, a mother of 13 who's just Nifteres. Wow. And Yud Gimel Iyar. All the good news comes there. It's Nervayim. Lili Nishmas, Mital Naomi, Bat Ruben, and Shoshana should have an Aliyah. It's terrible stuff to start off the share with this news. MDY Kids Monthly, Innovations, Schos for Official, Chonan, Akiva, Rivki and Mrs. Stefansky. Art of the Month, for Shleima, for Yonatanitam, Bracha, for Schos, for Reb Eli and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so many. And in honor of Yossi Klein and the guy who's sitting across from him and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. And Rabbi Sai, here we go. So yesterday, we were in the middle of an Agadita. Shamar v'Zachar b'dibur echad. It says the word Shamar, Zachar in the 2 psukim, in the 2 Aseres HaDibros, and also says Shav and Sheker. Regarding the Shevuos, one time it says Shav, one time it says Sheker. B'dibur echad. Because Baruch said them within the same time. He said 2 words in the same time. And the Gemara tells us that the pshat is that both of them, a Shevuos Sheker and a Shevuos Shav, you're both Chayiv Malkus. So now, Daf Chof Aleph Amud Aleph, 20 daf into Shevuos, it says like this. V'boy say another pshat. Why does it say Shav and Sheker? If it's what does it mean? They're one. Echad, it's one. Kishem shemei v'karban al Sheker, kach mei v'karban al Shav. That it's not about the Malkus, but it's about the Karban. Both of them get Malkus, even though Shav and Sheker are 2 different types of Shevuos. One is the future, one is the past. You both have to bring a Karban. Reb Eli says that there's no difference between the future and the past. The Torah talks about the future. The Gemara, the Mishnah says it also applies to the past. But that also, it's a big chiddush. That something that's in the Torah, like a Karban, we could make up. Even though the Torah didn't talk about it, we'll say, no, this Karban applies also to the past. Says the Gemara. Now, Ki asa Ravin, Omar Reb Yirmiyah, Omar Reb Avo, Omar Reb Yochanan. Let me see. Oh, I still have it here. So I don't have the chart with me. I made a chart for Yoshi this morning before we left, somewhere in around the 5 in the morning area, and I sent it to him. So Baruch Hashem, I have that. I wasn't planning on giving the share here, so I have a little bit of a chart. I don't know if you could see. Are you able to see? No. Nothing, 0, a little bit. Lovish in it. That's okay. I'm going to just read off it because it's very, very simple. Basically, what it says here is there's 2 categories. There's Sheker and Shav. And we have 2 Mandamrim. Yesterday we had Rav Dimi that says Sheker is the future. And that you learn from the Pasuk Lo Shavu. And Shav is the past. And that you learn from Lo Sisa. Reb Avo comes and says no. Sheker is the past, and Shav is the future. The exact reverse. Now, the psukim, though, are slightly different. He says, Sheker is the past, but you learn that from Loisi Shavu. And Shav, he comes up with the new pasuk, which yesterday we learned for Kainamis. I don't know if anybody remembers. Lo yachal dvarei for Shav. Okay, so let's see inside. Kiyasa, Ravin, Omer Reb Yirmiyah, Omer Reb Avo. How's the? You don't have to take a me. Take the scenery. Geschmack. Nobody wants to look at me. They want to see the scenery. And don't tell the Olam, but a lion just had a kill over here, and we had to cover the wildebeest with that thing. Whatever. We're not going to go there. It's not so nice for the shear, so we decided to cover it. Or maybe that didn't happen. That's a nice shkimat. It was a wannabe, a halavai mice. That's what we call a sheker. No, a shav. What is that? Which one is it?
Sheker.
Shav means it's impossible. Okay. Kiyasa Ravin, Omar Reb Yirmiyah, Omar Reb Avo, Omar Reb Yochanan. Achalti. If somebody makes a shvuah about the past, achalti, I ate. Lo achalti, I did not eat. and it's a lie, that's sheker. Vazarosei, and that I showed you in the chart, you'll see it on the screen. Meloi sishavu b'shmila sheker. Now, if somebody swears for the future, oichal v'loi oichal, that oiver v'loi yachal dvarei, the same pasuk that we used yesterday for Kanomais, he uses v'loi yachal dvarei. Ve'ez Shevuos shav. What does it mean? How did he say yesterday? Where's our guest? The guy. In vain. Shav, in vain. Shevuos shav, in vain. Nishba l'shani says you do ala adam. Some take it out. That you do ala adam. Now what? You say this stone is gold. Everybody chaps that you're lying. That's in vain. That's stop. Now, I'm just trying to do a few minutes here so that tonight after dinner when everybody's drunk and tired, drunk, but it won't be a full 50 minutes. How long was the show yesterday? It'll be even less. 2 more minutes. He was medayik. He never heard this directly from Rabbi Yochanan. He was medayik. The what? The Omar Rav Idi Bar Oven, Omar Rabbanim, Omar Rav Yitzchak, Omar Rabbi Yochanan, in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum Rabbi Yisai Glili Kol Yisasev Torah Lav Sheyesh B'May Ma'isa Loikim Malav. If that we had already a few times, in order to get Malchus, it has to be something that's an action. You took action. She'ein B'May Ma'isa. If there's no action, Ein Loikim Malav, you don't get Malchus. Chutz. There's 3 exceptions. Nishba, that's our sugya. Meimar. Everybody knows what Tmur is, especially if you did the shir. If not, here is the video of a person has a beautiful carbon, and you decide, you know what, that's not proper to bring to the basement. I have something even nicer. So you try to do something good, but the Torah says you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to switch. You say this should be instead of this, and that's awesome. That's called Tmura. It's Issa Deraisa. Now what did he do? He only did it with his mouth. And what? This week's Parsha Rabbi Sai. Kiss from Hashem. Another thing that you didn't take action. So these are 3 things that you don't take action. Without action, you chayiv on them shvua, tmura, and cursing your friend. We learned the whole sugi of cursing your friend. How do you curse your friend? You don't say a curse word like in English. You use Hashem's, the full Shem Hashem. Yaki Yosis Yosis Dr. B'Miyamin from Birevach. No, he's becoming Talmud Chacham. He's learning more and more ideas, things that the average Joe doesn't know. Dr. Gemara.
Joe Klein.
Mishba min olon. Should we stop here or should we keep on going a minute or 2?
Weiter.
Nishba min olon. How do you know they chayv malchus on something that doesn't have action when you just make a shvua and the bird is like when you don't want them to come, when you don't want them to come, they're all over you. Whatever.
Now it's chametz stick.
How do you know? How do you know the shvua that there's no ma'isa? It was checking it out.
It was a drive-by. It was his initial approach.
Zog the Gemara. Says the name of Rashbi. It says in the pasuk Hashem. We had a little bit of a preview of this at the end of yesterday's daf. Akash Baruch Hu is not going to get rid of this sin. The bezin will take care of it, and that's how you see that if a person swears, you get malchus. So Papa says, maybe the pasuk meant something else. Lo yinake klal. Who says lo yinake? No, 0. Akash Baruch Hu, not bezin, not Akash Baruch Hu, not this bezin. You're never going to get a way out of this. Says Abaya, Iksiv, Kilo Yanaka. If the pasuk would stop over there, you're right, it's a good taina. Hashad Iksiv, Kilo Yanaka Hashem. Sticking the word Hashem. Hashem Udein Menaka. Only Akash Baruch Hu doesn't take care of business over here. Aval Bezin Shel Mata, Malkin Oisai, Umenakim Oisai, they can take care of it and be Mechaper his sin. Rabbi Sai, we're going to continue later on somewhere else. So the Gemara says like this: Ashkechon Shevuos shav. So again, Shevuos shav is when somebody says this table is gold. this man is a woman, which reminds me, there's a guy at a wedding, and he looks at the person next to him and he says, "Listen, the chassan is such an ugly person. I can't believe that Kala married him." So the person next to him says, "Excuse me? First of all, it's not a chassan, it's a Kala. It has to be my daughter." She's like, "Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize you're the Kala's father. Sorry, I went to." I'm not the father, I'm the mother. So that's a shav. That's a bunch of baloney. That's a made-up story. And you say that this table is gold, says Rashi. You say on a man, it's a woman. So Shevuos shav, for something like that, you get malchus. Shevuos sheker min olin. How do you know that when somebody swears sheker, that they're going to do something, they did something? How do you know that you get malchus also? Rabbi Yochanan himself says, "Lashav, shtei pa'amin." It says lashav twice. So we're going to take that extra lashav and use it for something else for the Shevuos sheker. If we can't use it for this Shevuah, then you in the Shevuos sheker that what? Somebody swears falsely gets malchus. V'habibo Rebbe Abo. Hi Shevuos sheker, and Rebbe Abo asked the question, this Shevuos sheker yechidami, give me the example. If he's swearing about the future, that's a typical loisase, that you took action. What happened? You said, "I'm not going to eat," and then you ate. By eating, you're taking food and putting it in your mouth. That's action. If you swear that you are going to eat and you don't eat, that's something that you didn't take action. You didn't put anything in your mouth. But over here, you're putting something in your mouth. So you don't need a pasuk for that. Why do you need a pasuk for that? Every lav that has a ma'isa, you get malchus for. Oh, so it must be that you swore that you're going to eat and you didn't eat, and that's something that doesn't have action. But why would you get malchus on this? And this we had a number of times already. There's two reasons why you shouldn't get malchus. I don't know if I have patience to show this now. And I don't think you have patience to see it.
Mati, not again. Every time you're hungry, you put the whole fridge in one sandwich, and in the end, you barely eat a quarter of it.
This time, I'm really hungry. And you know what? I swear I'll eat it all by the end of the day today.
You know, you'll get 39 malchus if you don't eat it by the end of the day.
I don't want to be rude, but I think I'll be putter for one of two reasons. Does anyone know what the two reasons are?
Now, only those who don't know the answer should answer.
Yes, only those who don't know. What?
You know what you want to see? I'll tell you what you want to see. Here. This is what you want to see. I'll tell you. This being that we're doing so well tonight, we might as well just do this.
As you know, my favorite animal in safari, the leopard.
Oh, now we're talking. Oh, that's a good chair. Or that's the same picture. The same guy, just enhanced. Now that you see this, now I'm going to show you the picture that I took years ago, and you're going to appreciate why I always show it in sheer. I'm going to show it. Here it goes. Now you chap why this is a chashuv picture now. Now that we're chasing the leopard, and we don't see it, and to make such a pose, now that's why he's showing. Okay. Oh, that's mamish kida. You're right. You can show it in many different. I don't need excuses. I don't need to show it more. I show it at least once a week. Okay. Okay. Now we can go back to the shir. Itmar. So what happens? So we're talking about a Shevuos sheker that a person said, "I will eat," and he ended up not eating. The Gemara says there's two reasons why you shouldn't get malchus for that. You don't hit a guy for that. If somebody swears that he'll eat this bread, and the day went by and didn't eat the bread, you don't get malchus. Why? Why? So that's super easy. Since there's no action, he swore he's going to eat this bread, he didn't end up eating it, zero action, zero malchus. V'cholav she'en bo ma'aseh loikin olav. Okay, great. But Rish Lakish says a little bit more complicated. Rish Lakish Amar ein loikin mishum dahava hasra safek. In order to give somebody malchus, you have to warn him. Two Eidim have to come and say, we're warning you that if you do this and this and you don't eat the bread, you'll get malchus. The problem is you have to warn him right before he does the action. And he has an entire day to eat the bread. He swore he's going to eat the bread. He could eat it whenever he wants during the day. So when are they going to give him hasra? When are they going to warn him? If they warn him now, it's not Toich Kidei Dibur. They warn him an hour from now, it's also not. So when are they going to warn him? Toich Kidei Dibur of the end of the day, then he won't have time to eat it. Kitzur, they're stuck, it doesn't work, and that's why he doesn't get malchus. Hasra savak lo yishma malchus. V'omar Rebbe Avo, tehei ba'achalti v'lo yachalti. So we must be talking about when a person swears that he ate and he didn't eat. The Gemara says, Umayshno. What's the difference on something that happened in the past? Even if it happened in the past, why should he get malchus for that? It's also not a maisa. So says the Gemara, because the Torah says that if you swear falsely a shvuah sheker, it's similar to a shav. Mashav l'sha'avar, av sheker nami l'sha'avar, and that's why Ravin said that sheker is l'sha'avar. Ezer Reb Yirmiyah Rebavo, shvuah shelo yochal kikar zu. Listen to this. Think about it. A guy swears 3 times that he's not going to drink this bottle, and he goes ahead and drinks it. How many times is he over Isser? He swore 3 times, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to drink, I swear I'm not going to drink, I swear I'm not going to drink, I swear I'm not going to drink. How many times is he over? It says the Gemara only once. Shvuah shelo yochal kikar zu, shvuah shelo yachleno, v'achol, and he did eat it. And he chayav alachas, let's say it was shayig, he only has to bring 1 carbon. Zui shvuas bitu shechayavim al zdoina makis v'shegigasa carbon b'yared. This is a typical case of a shvuas bitu. So now, what happened there? Why is it a shvuas? Why you only chayav once? Because we know that any time you swear to keep something that's in the Torah, it doesn't work. Let's see. Yeah, I think I was going to say it. I don't really need this slide, but there's something called Mushba v'oimid marisina. Meaning, if Hashem says you can't do something, so the fact that you went ahead and you swore that you're not going to do what Hashem already told you, Hashem says don't eat chazer, and you say I swear I'm not going to eat chazer, so you don't get it. You don't get an additional aveira for breaking your shvuah, because Hashem already told you not to eat it. So when a person swears he's not going to eat this piece of bread, now he cannot eat it. It's like chazer. This bread turns into chazer because he just swore he's not going to eat it. So how could you swear that you're not going to eat it again? It's already chazer, so you can't add another isser on it. Ein isser chalal isser. It's mush b'vayimit. So he says the Gemara, and this word zuhi, this is it. This is shvuas bitui. Yichayev al zdoina makis v'shegigasa carbon. Zuhi limutei mai. What does it come to exclude? Zuhi, only this. And this will be a question on the Manama that says that if you swear that you ate or that you didn't eat in the past, that you don't get malchus. You do get malchus here. Forget malchus. You'll get malchus. That for sure everybody agrees you get malchus. What he's coming to exclude is zuhi. This is something that you get you have to bring a carbon out of the yared, a carbon, but not on a chalti v'lo yachalti. Zui, gasa carbon out of the yard. If you do by mistake, you have to bring a carbon. You don't bring a carbon. And this goes according to Rishmal. Here, now I can show you this chart. It's confusing to me because we did part of it and I didn't show, not that. This, right here. Please. Oh. Okay, so says the Gemara, the ratio goes like Rabbi Shmuel. That what shvuah shelo yochal, shvuah that I'm not going to eat, is considered a shvuah's bitui. And what does it come to exclude? A case where he says, in the past, I did such and such. I ate this loaf of bread. And it turns out he didn't. So what do you just say? You don't have to bring a carbon. That's what it came. Zui. Only a shvuah's bitui that I will not eat in the future. But if you talk about the past, and now you don't have to bring a carbon. That's very small. So let's just say it outside. Ask the Gemara, how could that be? The Seifa must go according to Rebbe Kiva. And you know what the problem is? How can you have a Reish and a Seifa with two different Manda Amrim? What's the Seifa? The Seifa is Shvuah that, a Shvuah Shav. What's the Shvuah Shav? This table is gold, or that this man is a woman. That's Shvuah Shav. And Zui, this is the case of Shvuah Shav. And what does it come to exclude? Achalti v'lo yachal. I ate, but he did. In that case, you are chayv a carbon. So let's see inside. Zuhi, what does the come to exclude? The muti mai, my love, the muti chalti the loyloki. It comes to exclude the case of achalti v'loyachalti, not loyachal. The two cases. What happened in the past? Two cases of the past, you don't get malchus. Loy, zui dashigasa pater mikarban. Comes to exclude that when you do it, you don't have to bring a carbon. But if it's on the future, in the past, she goes to chayiv carbon. You see? On the bottom it says chayiv carbon. And this must go according to Rebbe Kiva. Rebbe Kiva says it doesn't matter if you swear on the past or the future, you're chayiv a carbon. So I asked the Gemara the simple question: how could it be that the Reisha is purple as Rebbe Shmuel and the Seifa is blue Rebbe Kiva? Doesn't go. You can't have two Manda Amrim talking one Mishnah. How does Rebbe Shmuel? Rebbe Shmuel say Rebbe Kiva? Says the Gemara, no. Let's do this. Let's see if this button will work. No. Oh, it's delayed. Great. This makes more sense. The Reisha and the Seifa are both Rebbe Kiva. What? No, I didn't do the sponsor to turn in the daf. He's right. It's everybody's dream to say that. Like, to get me. You got it, Mati. It's your birthday. It's your lucky day. It's your mom's lucky day.
I was just really just thinking about it, so you know.
I rather good concert.
No, it's sponsorship.
I can never say it.
Right there. Oh, that was his dream. See, everybody has a dream.
There you go.
Right there. Where's Avi? Right there. Oh. Says Gemara, Kol Rebbe Kiva, Rabbi said we don't have to understand the word. What happened? What? No, I got to finish the sentence here. Says Gemara, just as I finish the sentence, and you don't understand the word I said, then I'm going to go into the sponsor, it's going to confuse you, and then we'll go to the next week. Sorry. Kula Rebbe Kiva. The whole thing is Rebbe Kiva, so that answers the question. The Reish and the Seif is Rebbe Kiva. It's not coming to exclude something I did in the past from a carbon. It's coming to exclude the future. Mimalkos, you don't get malkos. Av a carbon, of course, you have a carbon. Okay, I'll do the sponsors now. I'm scared to touch it. Whew. Here we go. Turning to the daf. Innovations LC in honor of our sons Kamel 12 and Yisrael 9 for learning Sanhedrin. Makis Shevuos with Reb Eli. Adar Global, still experts in international financial services. Anonymous, in honor of the tzaddik whose name we cannot say, who's sitting across from us. A client shows us what it means to be a giver and a tzaddik. Yasher Koyach. As the Gemara, Umayishna. Why are you telling me that we have to exclude I will eat in the future? What's the difference? The Mishnah says, in the past you are chayiv malchus. Umayishna. Says Gemara, when you're discussing a future thing, so your whole exclusion should be something in that category. You're talking about the future, let's take something out that's in the future. It's like it's a lashon question. It doesn't make sense to exclude something from the past. So Rebbe Kiva says, okay, small little sugi here. Rebbe Kiva says that if you swear that you're not going to eat something and you eat one tiny crumb, you're chayiv. The question is, in the entire Torah, the shear of eating is usually kazayis, right? How much matzah do you have to eat? Kazayis. It's never a mashu. How much chaylev do you have to eat? L'chayra, kazayis. Yeah, every time we learn these suggis, it's always a kazayis. So the question is, Rebbe Kiva b'chal Torah kula ki Reb Shimon tzvi leid b'chayiv mashu. Reb Akiva, who by Shevuos says all you need to eat is one crumb in order to be over the Shevuah, does he say that in the entire Torah? Chaylev, a crumb. Matzah, maybe a crumb, I don't know. But at least to be over this, forget the mitzvah. To be over this is a mashu, eat a crumb. On Yom Kippur, Yechayev Misa, whatever. Or Karas. When it comes to chaylev, let's say one tiny amount of chaylev, the fats of an animal, you chayev makas. The whole Torah we always talk about kazayis. It's halacha l'Moshe Sinai kazayis. You can't ignore halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Elo linyan carbon. That kazayis is just to tell you when you have to bring a carbon, but to be over, to say that you did an iser, that's all bekalshu. And you're right. So then how come he picks this case right over here instead of arguing an entire shas about the shiurim? Oh, he says kazayis. I say no, not kazayis, even a tiny drop. Really, you're right. He should have argued everywhere. To show you how powerful and how strong chachamim are in their shita. What happened? If a person swears, you hear this? What do you have? You have malaria? Ants. Oh, hold on a second. Are you joking? Check this out. I'm not. We did not talk about this before, but in case you're wondering what he has on him, this is a sugi coming out about Namala. I'm not joking. We're not going to get to it today, or this one. You guys remember this one? Or this one. It's funny that you have hands. Yeah, this is a sheer of hands-on demonstrations, and you're just telling me how you wanted the demonstrations. Come and show me the ants in your pants. Okay, Zog Gemara. Look, everybody agrees that if I swear that I won't eat one crumb and I eat a crumb, everybody agrees that I'm over on that shvuah. The question is, if I say I won't eat, I didn't say how much. How much is eat? So usually it's a kazayis. Reb Akiva says it's a crumb, but the Gemara says, but since when you specify, you say, if I don't eat a crumb, I'm chayev. So maybe even if I don't specify, I should also be chayev. Why? What's the logic? The logic is because I broke my shvuah. What's the difference how much I ate? I said I'm not going to eat, and I ate one crumb, so that shows that I'm lying. I broke my vow, my how do you say shvuah in English? Oath. Oath, that's much better. Oath. Vow is a neder, so it can't be vow. Oath. I broke my oath. I said I'm not going to eat it, and I ate it. So what if it's only a crumb? Mashmalon, the patri, no. Even here, Chacham hold that it needs to be a kazais. Or, perhaps Rebbe Akiva agrees in the whole Torah that it's a kazais. And now we're going to use that exact logic and explain the other side. That since when a person says straight out, I'm not going to eat this small amount, one crumb, you're chayev, therefore he does hold. Rebbe Akiva might hold that even if you don't explain how much you're not eating, if you eat one crumb, you're chayev. Why? Because that's breaking your vow. Your oath. Toshma. Now we have some geshmak arayis over here, and at the end the Gemara proves it. Toshma. In the Mishnah, right? Rebbe Akiva says, if you make an oath, you make a shvuah, and you break the shvuah by eating one crumb, you're chayev. And they say, where in the world have you ever seen this halacha other than this? Where did you see that? Where did you come up with a kolshu? Where in the Torah are you chayev for eating a crumb? What should it be asked? Why? Chametz? Who said?
Chametz is a kosher,
no? No, chametz is, it makes it, you're saying the isser chametz. That's a taroivus, that's something else you're talking about. I think it's taroivus. Chatzi shir is this question, what? Yeah. It ruins, a culture will ruin your batch of thing. You can't eat it. But to be over the isser, put a little drop on your tongue. Even on Yom Kippur, you're not chayiv on Kisevas, exactly. Now, what was he supposed to answer to such a question? Think about it. What is he supposed to answer them? What do you mean, hey chamatzinu? The entire Torah, you don't have to eat a kazai. It's only a kosher. If he holds in the entire Torah that it's a kosher, so you should have answered that to them. And if you're right, that Rebbe Kiva doesn't say it only over here in our sugi by Shevuos. He says it in the whole Torah, chaylev, chazer, everything. He should have said, I hold like Reb Shimon in the entire Torah. So Gemara says, no. You're right. He does hold an entire. It's not proof. Why? Because you could say that he really holds in the whole Torah that it's a kosher. But he was talking about to Rabbanan, the Devrei the Rabbanan Karmelu. He was talking to them. I hold in the whole Torah like Reb Shimon. But according to you, what about this logic that we were using before? I hold in the whole Torah that's a kosher. But what about you? Chachami, you should be moided to me in this particular case, not the whole Torah, not in Chaylev, in Chazer, in a Shevuos. That logic that we said before. At the end of the day, you're breaking your oath. So you should be chayiv. We don't agree. Okay, so next, right? Toshma, Reb Kiva Omer, Nazir Sheshara Pita B'yayin. What's going on here? You know why? Because you told me how great it worked. I know. Comes over to me and says, work Mardik, it was mamish on time, we started on time, no flaws, nothing. That's what happened. Listen to this. This is Geshmak. Toshma, Reb Kiva Omer, Nazir Sheshara Pita B'yayin. We know a person who says that he's not going to cut his hair, he's not going to drink anything that has to do with the wine, he's not going to eat even the grape seeds, and it has to be a kazayas. So what does he do? Or revius, but for some reason it's kazayas. I didn't have time today to look this up. Ari's going to look it up for me. He doesn't have a full amount of wine necessary to make a nazir restart the whole program. So he takes bread and he dunks it into the wine, and together the bread and the wine make a combination of, half a zayis yayin, and together with the bread you have a full kazayis. What's the halacha? The halacha is he's over. Stam, another ma'isa. There was a guy came from Israel to America to collect money, and the balabas wanted to impress him, so he took out a really expensive bottle of wine, one of these 300 bottle of wines, and he poured him a glass of wine. Now, I just have to say, as b'maimar musgar, I might have said this in the past, but I'll say it again because I love this ma'isa. My shver has this collection of very expensive scotches. He likes this one scotch, $300-$400 a bottle, whatever it costs. And every year, a certain Hasidus, he's very close to certain Hasidus, the Gabayim come they stay by him. So one year, he's like, you guys want some mashke, a drink? They said, yeah. So he pulls out this choshev bottle, and he pours them a shot. Each shot is like, you're looking at it's like $30-$40 a shot. He says, man, this is good, Take another shot. He's pouring one for him. Gets there, 6 shots later, the guy goes, I'm telling you, this stuff is unbelievable. It's like mamish like Jack Daniels. It's mamish reminded. What a waste on these guys. So anyways, the guy pulls out his $300 bottle of wine and gives it to this guy from Israel collecting money. So the guy, before he doesn't know what to do with it, so he takes the piece of challah and dips it right into the whole glass of wine. It's annoying to this guy. Like, I just gave you this very expensive bottle and dunking your challah in it. So you can't. The guy says, can I have more? So he pours nachamol. So he says, listen, I'll tell you, I always had a kasha. Why did everybody have to make Kriyas Yamsuf? He had millions of Yidden, more than all the wildebeest that we saw today. It's like 3 million Jews, basically, with all the children and the adults, the women. Tell each one to take some challah, dunk it in the Yamsuf, and they'll dry out the Yamsuf. So the guy says, he first, as he's talking, takes another piece of challah, dunks it into the wine. He says, first of all, it was Pesach, so they only had matzah. Matzah doesn't absorb so well. Second of all, it's shruya, it's gebrachs, you can't do it. That's why they kept on dunking. Anyway, so this clown, somebody told me it looks like Jonathan Ballard, but this is lit. This is our lit from Nazir. Nothing to do with Jonathan. Great guy, Jonathan, but it's not him. Jonathan Ballard. What?
That's the fancy.
Maybe it's the same Hamaka, if anything. Okay. So, what just happened? Okay. So what's the halacha? Does Rabbi the tzarek kizayis chayav? If Reb Akiva holds in the whole Torah, including Nazir, they don't need a whole shear. All you need is a mashu. If a Nazir drinks one tiny drop of wine, according to Reb Akiva, according to your Havamina, he should be chayav right there. He should have to restart the whole program. Lama leitzar. Why do you need a piece of bread? Forget the bread. Forget a shear, a mashu. We said one crumb is enough, so one drop of wine is enough. Why do you need a piece of bread? And we learn Shevuos Shleima. This is very interesting. A person swears he's not going to eat. Let's say he says, today I'm not going to eat. I swear I need to go on a diet. I was at this crazy safari. I ate like a third, 6 meals a day. And now I have to go on a massive diet. He comes home, I swear I'm not going to eat. And then he eats a cheeseburger. How many times is he chayav? Or let's be better, did he break his shvuah? Is that considered eating? Eating chazer, is that considered eating? So says the Gemara, all the bad stuff. Chayav, you chayav. Reb Shimon Poiter. Why does Reb Shimon say you potter? Because of that idea of mush b'vaymed. Hashem said you shouldn't eat a cheeseburger. Not your shvuah, so you can't add a shvuah to that. V'avinam ba, and we ask the question, Am I chayav mush b'mar? According to the Tanakhama, that you are chayav for eating shkatz and v'masim treif. Why? Hashem said you shouldn't eat it. Forget your swearing. Your shvuah doesn't help anything. Rav Shmuel v'Birevach da Amri b'koil dvarim amutarim im dvarim ha'asur. This is Maridik. Very, very simple concept. That is, you cannot swear that you're not going to eat a cheeseburger. Why? Because a cheeseburger is already asur midiraisa, so you can't add anything to it. But if you swear that you're not going to eat anything today, you're going to be on a good diet. You're not even going to eat carbs and sushi and everything else. So once the shvuah applies itself to all regular foods, it also applies itself to the things that are asur for you to eat. And that is called, here, check this out, Isur Chal al Isur, one Isur. The Isur of treif, or the Isur of breaking a shvuah, applies itself to the Isur of treif. B'koilo, when you learn in a koilo. No. B'koilo means when you add other stuff to it. When you add things that are mutter, like sushi, once it applies itself to sushi, it applies itself also to the cheeseburger. Oh, the only way this shvuah could apply itself to bad food, to food that's already awesome. In other words, if you eat less than the shear, so according to Chacham, what's less than the shear? According to Chacham say the shear is a kizayis, so less than that. According to Reb Akiva, there is no shear. The mash was also shear. Believe the Reb Akiva, don't otherwise ask him cholshu. If Reb Akiva holds like Reb Shimon all over, how does that help me when he says that he should be chayiv even for nothing? The nothing is already something that Hashem said you shouldn't eat. The last one, obviously you see from here that Reb Akiva himself holds like Rabban. The what? In the whole Torah, the shear is not a kosher. The shear is a kizayis. Only in our sugya by Shevuah he holds that if a person eats a kolshu, he's over on the Shevuah. Shmamino, Rabboisai, have a wonderful day. You should better do chazara tomorrow, or maybe I should give another shir. Givaldik.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.